think it's time for me to go on a book buying ban. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Melleny. If you'd like to get to know me a little bit better, all my social media is linked down below. I do post a bit on Instagram and I'm on Hive. I don't know if you guys are on Hive, but I'm on Hive. And I'm kind of a little bit apprehensive about it, mainly just because I'm someone who very much likes results instantly. So it has to do with the fact that social media is always at the tip of our fingers, and with Hive I completely understand, like I'm very understanding of why the app is slow, but I'm kind of hoping that they kind of make it a little bit faster. Like the loading screens take forever, the searching takes forever. Obviously I will compare it to what I have, which is Instagram, where the searching is instant and all of that. So if you have Hive, let me know, I'll follow you down below. And I think without further ado, let's talk about the books that I got in November. I don't know how I feel, like there's so many books here. A lot of them seem to be like perks of the job books, which I'm really grateful for, but like the perks need to slow down a little bit. There's still like a sale happening this coming week, so December is probably going to be another one of those months where I have an extraordinary amount of books. That's okay. I'm really glad that my purchasing pile is a lot less, and I got some book mail from publishers that I haven't really gotten from in a while, so it was quite a nice surprise. I think let's jump into the ones that I was gifted from other publishers and let's talk about them. So the first set I have here are these three. These are all from Pan Macmillan, so thank you so much to them for sending these to me. I have about 5 books from them so far this year, and I definitely want to kind of prioritize these in December. But obviously I have The Sun Bearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. Aiden Thomas has become so popular these days, and I'm really excited to try out their work. I am particularly excited for this one because I think this one is just a little bit more up my alley, along with Cemetery Boys. But this one kind of reminds me a lot of Percy Jackson, so I'm really excited to pick this one up, and maybe Percy Jackson in December if I'm feeling a little adventurous with my TBR. I then have Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. This is another LGBTQ++ book, and I'm really excited for this one. This is, I think, Raquel's debut, so I'm very excited to also read their books and just get into it. This is a contemporary, so this is a little bit more not really my kind of genre that I read, especially since my contemporary has been pretty much limited to romance these last couple of months. Talking of romance, I have My Chemical Romance, which is by Alexine Farrell Fulmarth, and if you don't know anything about this author, this is actually Olivia Blake, and she wrote The Atlas X, and this is kind of her real name, and she writes, I think, contemporary fiction under that name specifically. Then we're gonna move on to the books that I got from Penguin Random House, so a huge thank you to them, because honestly these were a very big ask from me. I asked for these and I was so very happy when I got them. I'm so excited to pick them up and read them, and you'll see why. So these are the books that I got from Penguin Random House, so thank you again. So the first two I have here are Leem and Glow by Raven Kennedy, and if you know anything about my reading these last 2 months, is that I've been devouring her other books, her first 2 books, and I'm so excited to have both of these on my TBR. I do think that Glow is massive and is a little bit of a hindrance in terms of size, but I'm really excited for both of these. I'm really loving the series so far. I've given, I think Glint is the second one, I gave that 4.5, and I think this might be a 5-star and this maybe even a 6-star read at this point, but I'm so excited to continue on with the series and read it. Then I have The Traitor Queen and The Inadequate Heir by Danielle L. Jensen. These two are very popular romance fantasy books, and I actually hauled The Bridge Kingdom the other day. I got that as a gift from my boyfriend, so I'm excited to jump into this trilogy. I think by the sounds of it, it's one that you kind of want to sit and binge. I might take this on holiday with me in December when I'm off from work, which is December, January time, so we'll see, but I'm really excited for these two. Okay, now moving on to the books that I've received from Jonathan Bull Publishers to review, and I'm really excited for these titles. There are some here that you'll see and you're like, what, really? So I'm really excited for these, and I'm going to talk about them now. So the first one I have here is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. You'll see a little bit, this is a spoiler for later, that I actually got the first 2 books as well. I'm really interested in picking these books up, and I kind of also want to marathon them or read them as much in one go that I possibly can, and so I got the other 2 this month, and I kind of wanted them all in the trade. I was very picky about that for some reason, but I'm really excited for this one just because of all the hype surrounding this author, and I think I'm definitely going to enjoy Immortal Longings, I think it is, which is a Cleopatra and Antony Shakespearean retelling, and I think I really like that aspect. I am, of course, a English graduate, and I really am intrigued to see how it all unfolds. I then have What Lies Beyond the Veil by Harper L. Woods. This one I'm also really excited for, hoping I can pick it up sooner rather than later. This one is definitely a darker fantasy, and it's been marketed under YA, but it's definitely more of an adult YA, so I'm thinking 18 plus kind of YA kind of situation where it's more new adult. But because new adult isn't really a genre or an age group in most countries, especially in South Africa, this is falling under YA, so just be careful when you go into this. There should be some trigger warnings that I think you should pay attention to. I'm just trying to see if there are any in here outright. So there are some trigger warnings, I'm just going to mention them right now. So there's religious purity culture, verbal and physical abuse, references to grooming behavior, assault of a minor by an authority figure, ritualistic sacrifice, suicidal thoughts and ideation, graphic violence, and graphic sexual content. So this is definitely a heavy topic, so I would definitely recommend this for a lot of older audiences, but I am excited to pick this up. I'm hoping I can fly through it as much as I have been with the Theta Prisoner series, because they kind of feel like they have the same kind of vibe. I was then super lucky and I got the first 3 books in the Margie Orford's Their Heart thriller series, and I'm so excited. If you don't know, I recently read The Eye of the Beholder. I'll have my October wrap up in my info cards for you, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm really excited to pick up her backlist, which have just been reissued by Jonathan Bull Publishers, or republished, and with a new design on the jackets. So I'm really excited to pick these up. I have high hopes just because of how much I enjoyed The Eye of the Beholder, so I'm hoping to pick these ones up pretty soon as well. The last book I have here is Defend the Dawn by Bridget. We did get some pins with this, so I'm really happy and I'm really excited. I have yet to read her fantasy books, but both Defy the Night and Defend the Dawn are currently on my TBR shelf to be read, so this will go back there when we're done with this video. Now moving into like the perks of the job, meaning I work for a publishing house. I get a lot of books from them as perks of the job, meaning they get given because people just want opinions. There's proof copies in here. It's just all perks of working for a publishing house. So I just want to preface that, and that's usually why I do have really extravagant hauls, just because of like the industry I'm in, place where I am in terms of social media, my work and stuff. So I'm very, very privileged to get all of these, but I do try and purchase books as well. I'm very, very grateful for all of these publishers for having faith in me to review and read these books and share my opinions and share them with you guys. So the first one I got is Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. This is Matthew Perry's memoir. I don't really read memoirs, but I figured why not? Although I've been hearing a little bit of meh things about it so far, although I'm still intrigued. I am a Friends fan. I did love Chandler in Friends, so I'm definitely excited to pick this one up and see kind of what is happening, what happened in his life. And yeah, there's some photos, obviously, as with every memoir, and I'm pretty sure he wrote this all by himself, which is not very common with celebrities. I then have Skander and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman. So this is a middle grade fantasy that sold really well in an auction. I think this is also another one of those Percy Jackson books, so I think I might just do for like next year sometime a Percy Jackson kind of video, like books to read if you like Percy Jackson or if you're chasing that Percy Jackson feel. So let me know if you would be interested in something like that. It would be a little bit more middle grade targeted, but I think it might be a great resource for people who love Percy Jackson as an older generation. Also, if you're struggling to find recommendations for your kid, I'm hoping to do something like that, so let me know if you're interested. I then got these little books for gin, dogs, and cats by Orange Hippo. This was also a perk of the job. These just have like facts about gin and dogs and cats, and obviously I'm a dog and a cat person, so it just worked out really well. The next thing I have here is Not for a Lady by Hannah Dolby. This is a March 2023 release. I'm doing a read or buddy read with some colleagues of mine from work, so I'm really excited to pick this up. I think we're going to be doing it in the upcoming week, not this week, like next week sometime, but I'm really excited. This is, I think, the cover, which I actually a fan of. I think it's quite stunning and eye-catching, especially the colors and the contrasting colors. Then I have another like romancy book, and that is Best Men by Sydney Carger. This sounded really, really cool. I actually just recently got this. This comes out in May 2023. This follows 2 people who met up at a bar, had a make-out session, decided they then disliked each other and chose to never speak to each other ever again. Except there's a catch. They end up being the best men at their best friend's wedding. So one is the best man to the bride and the other is the best man to the groom, and it kind of just goes from there. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. This also looks like a really cute proof. And there were a surplus of these copies, and that is The Last Chairlift by John Irving. I'm so excited for this. This is definitely a big book, but I'm hoping to maybe read it after I've read Cider House Rules, so we'll see how that all goes, but I'm really excited for this. So those are the books that I got as perks of the job, and now we're gonna go into the books that I bought myself. So there's quite a few here, and I'm gonna kind of, I think, power through them just because why not. So the first one I have here is Children of Hurin, and this is by J.R.R. Tolkien. I picked this up from the secondhand bookstore. It was ridiculously cheap, and I kind of am in the mood to collect J.R.R. Tolkien's books just because I'm getting into that era of fantasy where I'm reading a little bit more of high fantasy and older fantasy. Obviously it's not always the best in terms of representation, but I do like the way that J.R.R. Tolkien tells these stories. I read The Hobbit recently. He's also South African, so I'm supporting locally as much as I can. I then got the Guinevere Deception by Kirsten Wright. I've had my eye on for a while and it was on sale at a bargain book, so I picked it up. I have Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter. This is the only book I needed in the Shadowfall series that I didn't have before, so I picked it up at the secondhand bookstore as well. At the same secondhand bookstore, I picked up and I found The Trade of the Wicked King by Holly Black. This was the only one I was missing in trade, and I was really kind of sitting here going, do I buy the hardcover so they match? I don't want to get the normal B format paperbacks, and so luck was on my side when I found this that day, and I'm really happy that I did. Then the next book I have here is The Whispering Dark by Kaylee Andrews. I hold this in my Illumicrate unboxing, which I'll have linked in the info cards if you're interested in checking it out. Then I also bought myself these Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a secondhand copy as well that I bought from someone who was moving overseas, and I figured why not pick it up. It does have a digital signature in here, which I'm not too fussed about. So there's the digital signature. I will say that if I'd known the condition that this was in, I would have paid less. Overall, I'm really happy to have this. So talking about these Violent Delights, I also got Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, and that's kind of the wrap up of my haul. I actually got this from my boyfriend and he bought it for me as a gift. Thank you so very much for watching. I know that these hauls aren't everyone's favorite in the sense of it does promote a lot of capitalism, a lot of spending, and it isn't necessary for you to do so. As mentioned, I just am in a very privileged position where I do get all these books and where I can flesh out my library. Not that I need to flesh out my library more, simply because it is quite full. For now, I'm just kind of enjoying the fact that I have a lot more money to spend before I have any responsibilities beyond me and my cat and I, and my partner obviously. So I'm really just enjoying that fact, and from next year onwards I am going to be a little bit more strict with my money, more stingy. But yeah, otherwise that's kind of the haul I have for you. Let me know down below which one of these you think I should read sooner rather than later. Obviously I have some of my favorites I definitely want to pick up, and in addition to that I also just need ideas. Let me know if you think of any video ideas that you'd like me to see. I'm definitely starting to prep for next year because I think that's going to be an exciting one. I'm trying to put more effort in to this platform just because I always feel like I don't put enough work in. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching to this point. I hope that you enjoyed it.